Hey fellow explorers, a frequently asked question that I often get as a travel content creator is, Chris, what do you use to get mobile international data when you travel? And for the past year, pretty much exclusively, I've been using eSIMs that I purchased before I go from the comfort of my home from SimLocal, the sponsor of today's video. And then after I answer that question, people often say, okay, Chris, well, how does that really work? And does it work on my phone? And how much does it cost? And so all of those things I intend to answer today, not just to answer them, not just let you watch me do it, but also to give you the opportunity so that you can do it for free. You can find out whether it's gonna work for you, whether it's gonna work on your phone, what that experience is like, because SimLocal is offering this really cool new feature that they're offering a free 1-day 500 megabyte international eSIM that's valid in Americas, Caribbean, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Asia Pacific. So chances are if you're going there, they've got an eSIM that'll work for you. And so you can just see how it all works. You can see if it works on your phone. You can see if it works where you're going. And then if it does all work out for you, once you've worked out that process, if you decide you want to buy one, I'll show you how that'll work too and show you what the prices look like. And I've even got a 10% discount code if you do decide to buy from SimLocal, code it YELLOW, that you can get 10% off. But this 500 megabyte 1-day eSIM, totally free. Like little few things are this free today. You don't need to put in any credit card information, any of those things, literally no strings attached on the purchase. Okay, so you can do all of this from the SimLocal website, from your phone or from your computer, but it's kind of easier and more seamless to do it from their app. So that's what I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna show you will work on iPhone or Android. I'm doing this on my Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra phone, and you can do this from your web browser on your phone, your web browser on your computer, or from the mobile app on Android and iPhone. I'm gonna do it from the mobile app just because the experience is a little bit more seamless. So first things first, I'm gonna go to my app store and I'm gonna download the SimLocal app. You can just search for SimLocal and then go ahead and hit install. Now that I've got the app installed, I'm gonna go ahead and open it. So when you open up the SimLocal app, the first thing you'll get is a screen that says, are you new to SimLocal? Try us out with this free eSIM plan, no payment required. You click the Get Started button. You can sign up with your email account. You can sign up with a Gmail or an Apple account. I'm lazy, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign out with my Gmail account. These are all blurred out on the screen. You can't see all my account information, but as soon as I have logged in, then in the app it says, hey, do you wanna subscribe for specials? If you wanna get those things emailed to you, do so. If not, don't. Now, in order to get this free eSIM, you do need to have a valid phone number and you need to be in a place that you can get a text, because that's how they just make sure you get one per person, because it does cost them some money to offer this capability. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my phone number in there, and then when I click send me the code, I get a code in my text messages that then I go ahead and paste that code right in there. I click verify, and congratulations, my phone number is verified. Let's go ahead and set up my free eSIM plan. All right, your plan is ready. Click plan details. So you do have to allow the eSIM to like make and manage calls. So now that that's all gone through, I've got confirmation of my global eSIM, 500 megabytes for 1 day. It lets me know how much data I have remaining on it. Then I can scroll down in here to install the plan. So clicking this button, I can click download plan, and this is what actually like is the step where it's a bit easier if you use the app. If you use your computer, then you have to like scan a QR code on your computer to install the plan. But from the app, you can click install and you can click allow, and then the app will actually install the eSIM directly on the phone. This takes a little bit, so I'll come back once the spinning arrow finishes. Okay, so that arrow spun for about a minute, and now the plan has been downloaded. To actually make it work, I have to go on and turn on data roaming. So on my Samsung device, I do that up here in settings, and then I can search for data roaming, which actually it says here it's already turned on. You can see I've got data roaming turned on. So now here in my SIM card manager, you can see in addition to my primary eSIM of T-Mobile, which I've blurred out that phone number, I don't need any more phone calls. I've also got this new eSIM 2, this smartphone eSIM. This is the one that's SimLocal app installed. You can see it's already toggled on, but if I want to use that for my primary data, then I need to come down here where it says primary SIM, and I need to change that to eSIM 2. That means that'll become the default SIM for calling calling, messaging, and mobile data. I click change right there, and now that's the primary eSIM. If you want to be able to get like phone calls on a primary one and text on a primary one, they've got this thing called data switching, where then if you're like your primary SIM card doesn't roam, you can turn that on, and then your secondary eSIM, which could be the one you just downloaded, could do that. You will also notice at the top of this screen, I don't have a physical SIM card installed. My main SIM card from T-Mobile is just an eSIM, but you can use a physical SIM card and an eSIM both at the same time if you have a phone that's capable of it. Oh, I should note that your phone does need to be unlocked for this to work, and I will put a link in the description to the list of all of the phones that support eSIMs. Chances are if your phone was one that you bought in the last 3 years, it probably supports eSIMs, even if you don't even know it. Okay, so now something you can see on my device now in the upper right-hand corner by the little 57% battery status, where there used to be one kind of cell phone bar, there's now two, and one has an R. That's the SIM local eSIM because it's roaming. It's a global plan, so when I'm here in the USA, it's roaming. I'm gonna turn off Wi-Fi. I'm gonna turn off my primary SIM card from T-Mobile so that we can test to make sure the data actually flows over this SIM card. So we're gonna go ahead and turn off T-Mobile completely. Now I won't get any texts or phone calls or anything from the T-Mobile one. To do that, I do have to restart the phone. So now that I've rebooted my phone and restarted the screen recording so that you can see it in the corner, you can see I've only got one set of bars now with the R. That's the SIM local eSIM. My T-Mobile one is off. I've still got Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna turn that off. But I've also got this notification here that says data roaming. You have lost data connectivity because you've left your home network with data roaming turned off. I need to come back in here and I need to return on data roaming so that the eSIM has roaming on. It says it's R in the upper corner, meaning that it is roaming, but I don't get any data unless I turn on data roaming. And then we're gonna go ahead and turn off Wi-Fi too. So now there's no Wi-Fi, there's just the eSIM, and you can see now the little thing in the corner has changed. You can see it's connected on 5G. So let's go ahead and do a data speed test. Okay, so to do a speed test, we can just open up our Chrome web browser. We can type in speed test in the search box and get an internet speed test that's pretty easy. We'll click run speed test, and we can see that where I am here in Southern California, I get 80 megabits per second of download speed. That is a pretty fast internet speed. And on the upload side, pretty fast too. We're getting over 20 megabits per second of upload, nearly 30. Now, this is gonna be highly dependent on where you actually are. If you're in rural areas or things like that, might be slower, but this is a pretty solid data connection here in Southern California. So that's the process for signing up, installing it, testing out the eSIM. Overall, pretty easy. This eSIM will work for 1 day for 500 megabytes. If you want to use it for real, for longer than a day, you can't like add any more data to that one. You need to buy a new eSIM. And so I'm gonna show you how that works. And so within this little search bar in the SimLocal app or from their website, you can type in your destination. I'm gonna be going to Japan. And so I'm gonna type into Japan and I'm gonna buy one here on this video that I'm gonna use when we go to Japan. So what I like about SimLocal is they offer local SIMs from local providers in countries. You can see here, they offer AU SIMs in Japan, unlimited eSIMs, 10 days of data, $26. If you want to get more information on any plan, you can click on more information. It'll tell you what countries it's in, how much data, whether you get a local phone number, and then the network. In this case, it's AU by KDDI. Now, if we go back to the main screen, those aren't the only plans they offer in Japan. They also offer, if you're like, hey, maybe you want a different network, this 20 gigabyte eSIM from SimLocal is a 30-day eSIM. It's not unlimited, it's 20 gigabytes. And then if you look down here on networks, it's on a different network, NTT Docomo. So if you're going to a place that has better coverage on that, that might be something that's important for you. That one's also longer duration. You can get ones for shorter duration, 4 days for $13. Which one am I gonna buy? Well, if I was traveling to a bunch of different countries, this orange one right down here, when I went to Taiwan and when I went to Kuala Lumpur, I got the orange eSIM that was good in 34 different countries. And what was interesting about this eSIM is this one actually comes with calls and texts, as you can see here, but it's orange, so it's a French provider, so it comes with a French number. It doesn't come with a local number in the destinations. Okay, but you can make calls in those destinations. Okay, so I'm gonna buy the 10-day, $26 eSIM. And of course, I've got this code, the yellow code, that I can use on my own purchase to get 10% off. So it's $26. We're gonna go ahead and add my discount code of yellow. And then we're gonna click apply. And now it's not $26, it's now $23.40. They take Google Pay, they take Apple Pay, they take credit cards. What other payment methods do they take? You can even pay by PayPal if you want to. But we're gonna go ahead and do Google Pay because that's pretty easy. All right, and there we go. As easy as that, I purchased my eSIM for my trip to Japan. There's information in my email inbox, and there's also information here in the app. You can see, well, it says it's active, but it's not really active yet. It's not active until it's actually installed and you click that install button. So, because I'm not going for a little while, I'm not gonna install this until I go. No, you do need Wi-Fi for when you go, when you actually do that. So, you know, maybe you wanna do that before you leave home, or you wanna do that when you get to your destination. You can turn on the airport Wi-Fi or when you get to your hotel, but it's not gonna work if you don't have data to actually install the plan. I typically install it at home because that way I know everything works before I go. And the final thing I love about eSIMs, when I get home and I'm all done with my trip, it's really easy to switch back to T-Mobile as my primary provider. I just come into my settings, I go into my SIM manager, and then I just toggle on my primary T-Mobile eSIM, and then I just go ahead and toggle off the eSIM that I purchased from SIM Local and restart my phone. And there we go, back to just everything was in my home country. Well, all right, fellow explorers, if you want to give it a try, you'll find a link in the description to SIM Local, or you can scan this nifty QR code right here on the screen. And if you try it and you love it and you want to buy an eSIM, use code YELLOW to score yourself 10% off. Fellow explorers, as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you in the next video.